Hello, you're listening to the Waffle Press Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me I have...
Gina Versa.
And we just watched Olivier Assayas' Kristen Stewart movie, Personal Shopper. Mm-hmm. Gene, you haven't seen any other Olivier Assayas movies, huh?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. He's kind of wild. He's very, very different. I've only seen Clouds of Sils Maria, so maybe I'm speaking out of my depth a little here, but
right.
That was a very borderline abstract movie at times. It's not overly written, but it's very dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
You know, and he shoots dialogue scenes in a way that are not boring, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, the camera's either constantly moving or feeding you information in a different way.
Right, it's just in a really weird way.
Yeah, and Personal Shopper is weird as shit. In a good way,
yeah,
I think.
It's putting it lightly.
Yeah, we just watched it at LACMA for the LA premiere. Mm-hmm.
Through Film Independent?
Yes. So before I start gushing, Gene, what did you think about Personal Shopper?
I really dug it. Like, it was very abstract. It was an abstract horror movie, I would say. Like, if someone like Jean-Luc Godard did like a horror movie or something. But I mean, it was very creepy, but it was about something more, I guess, than like scares. You know, it's trying to say something about like life and death and, you know, people you leave behind and stuff like and that. So yeah, and Kristen Stewart's great. You know, she's a really good actress. She was in Twilight, so she gets a bad rap, but I personally like her.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of her best roles, and I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm a big fan of hers, and I mean, yeah, she does get a bad rap for Twilight, but I mean, like, it's not like she was doing anything more than those movies needed her to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's a whole other conversation, but I find her acting style very raw, like, it's very natural.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
she doesn't...
She gives very human performances, you know? Like, people, like, misconstrue it as, like, her being too awkward or shy or whatever. Like,
right.
It's these insecurities that I think really feed
it's a very lived-in character.
Yeah, they feel naturalistic, and everything this movie has to do with the character is not natural. Or maybe the argument could be made that it is natural, because, yeah, you're right, it's about life and death and the impact of grief. Yeah. And how we deal with it, and how it can... with ghosts, yeah, and how it can overcome us.
Yeah.
And just overwhelm us in every aspect of our lives. And I thought it was just so interesting. I was like, I'm excited for this movie, because I'm a fan, and Clouds of Sils Maria is one of my favorite movies of recent years. Mm-hmm. Like, Personal Shopper, that seems weird. Like, ghosts, and she's the personal shopper for, like, a superstar of some kind.
Right.
And then how the movie explores that, like, how... the character that Kristen Stewart plays, Maureen, they show her in all these different spots in her life because she can't really connect to anyone on a human level, so there's a lot of texting scenes, there's a lot of Skypes, there's a lot of, like, talking through doorways.
Like impersonal.
Very impersonal.
Communication, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I was just dumbfounded. I was like, wow, this is incredibly impressive, and yeah, it's very... touching and scary in how it deals with grief at times.
Right.
Immediately after the screening was over, when we asked each other what we thought, and I told you it's like The Sixth Sense by way of Black Hat, and
anything to put Black Hat.
No, because the way Black Hat uses technology and how it speaks to our interpersonal relationships.
Okay.
But instead of like being a worldwide thing, it's about this specific character, Maureen, and how her worldview is like. And it's just so really fascinating stuff, and I loved it. So yeah, I don't know when it actually comes out in the U.S.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
but we saw it, so
yeah, so it's great.
You'll see it eventually.
And if you just follow us on Twitter, here's where we're gonna do our plugs.
Okay.
Where can the people find you on Twitter, Gene?
Gene9892. Please follow me. All right. I don't have many followers. I try to tweet more now.
That's good. I'm at President Diego on Twitter, or Diego Waffles. And I'll probably be tweeting about this movie for the rest of the year, because I have a hard time imagining it's not going to make my top 10. Mm-hmm. Jesus, I just watched Logan twice, Personal Shopper. Like, how am I still breathing? These movies are too good.
I don't know.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. We have been professionally unprofessional.